There comes a moment when you look in the mirror and feel a quiet power rising within you. A power not given by anyone outside, but born from your own spirit. It is the same power that makes mountains stand and rivers carve their way through stone. This moment is yours. It is the invitation to step into the life you were meant to live. Many people believe that strength is loud, filled with noise and display. But real strength lives in silence. It grows in discipline. It breathes in patience. When you begin to train your mind the way a warrior trains the body, you learn that the first battle is always within. This is the path to becoming undefeatable. Not because the world stops testing you, but because you no longer bow to fear, doubt, or limitation. To become an undefeatable woman, you must first understand the weight of your own breath. Every morning you rise with it. Every evening you end with it. In between those moments is your chance to train your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Be patient yet unshakable. Let your emotions flow yet never lose your center. This is how you build the unbreakable ground beneath your feet. The world will try to push you, tempt you, distract you. It will challenge your worth. It will tell you to be smaller. But you are not here to shrink. You are here to expand beyond what is comfortable. The still mind and steady heart cannot be conquered. When you feel the pressure of the world pressing on you, remember that diamonds form under pressure. Let this pressure polish you, not crush you. To master your inner world before facing the outer world is to recognize that every experience you encounter begins within you. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape the way you see life, and they shape the way life responds to you. When your inner world is scattered, noisy, or unsettled, even the smallest challenge outside feels enormous. But when your inner world is calm, clear, and disciplined, the outside world loses its power to overwhelm you. This is the first and most important step on the journey of becoming an undefeatable woman. It is not about controlling everything around you. It is about learning to direct your own energy, your focus, and your mindset so that you move through life with balance and purpose. Start by paying attention to your thoughts. Most people do not notice the constant stream of words running through their minds. They react to life without understanding that their own mind is shaping their reality. When you wake in the morning, sit with yourself in silence. Breathe deeply and allow your thoughts to settle. Notice what you feel and what you think without judging it. This simple practice begins the training of your inner world. With time, your thoughts become your allies instead of your enemies. Instead of believing every doubt or fear, you start to choose the thoughts that empower you. This shift from reaction to intention is the ground where your strength grows. Emotions are another gateway to mastering your inner world. Many people see emotions as storms that come and go, out of their control. But when you begin to breathe through your emotions and give them space, you start to notice patterns. You begin to see which situations trigger anger, sadness, fear, or joy. Understanding these patterns gives you choice. Instead of being thrown around by your emotions, you learn to stand inside them, steady and present. This is not about suppressing what you feel. It is about learning to carry your emotions with dignity and use their energy for growth rather than destruction. Self-discipline is a bridge between your inner and outer world. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you are building trust with your own spirit. Whether it is waking up earlier, practicing gratitude, or dedicating time to your craft, discipline shapes the strength of your inner world. When discipline becomes natural, your confidence rises. You no longer need approval or permission from others because you know you can rely on yourself. This quiet self-trust is one of the most powerful qualities of an undefeatable woman. Silence and solitude are also essential. In the noise of modern life, it is easy to lose connection with your own voice. Take moments to step back, breathe, and listen to yourself. In silence, you can hear the subtle messages of your intuition. In solitude, you can recharge your energy and sharpen your focus. These practices build an inner fortress where your clarity cannot be taken away, no matter what is happening around you. Mastering your inner world also means releasing the need for constant comparison. When you measure yourself by someone else's life, you give away your power. Instead, anchor yourself in your own values, your own vision, and your own journey. This does not mean you ignore the world. It means you engage with it from a place of inner strength rather than insecurity. You start to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to practice resilience. Over time, this inner mastery reflects outwardly. People will notice your calm presence. They will sense that you do not get lost in chaos or crumble under pressure. They will see a steadiness that cannot be faked. This steadiness is not arrogance. It is the natural result of doing the work within. With each day of practice, your center grows stronger and your boundaries become clearer. You become like a mountain, rooted and grounded, unshaken by the winds of life. When you have mastered your inner world, your actions in the outer world become more powerful and precise. You are no longer reacting impulsively. You are responding with intention. Your words carry weight because they come from clarity. Your steps lead somewhere because they come from purpose. In this state, setbacks do not break you. They teach you. Criticism does not weaken you. It informs you. Distractions do not control you. You let them pass. To become an undefeatable woman, you must first build this inner foundation. Without it, achievements in the outer world feel empty and fragile. With it, even the smallest step becomes meaningful and unshakable. This inner mastery does not happen overnight. It is cultivated through patience, practice, and compassion toward yourself. But every moment spent on it is an investment in your own freedom and strength. When the inside is steady, the outside cannot defeat you. This is where true power begins, and this is how you grow into the woman who stands tall, moves forward, and remains undefeated. To transform pain into power and fear into focus is to take what was meant to break you and instead let it shape you into something stronger. Every person meets pain and fear, but few understand that within these experiences lies a hidden energy waiting to be directed. When pain arrives, it is easy to shrink, to close your heart, to feel defeated. Yet inside that same pain there is a seed of strength, an invitation to rise higher than you were before. An undefeatable woman understands that she does not need to escape her pain, but to use it, to allow it to carve depth into her character and sharpen her awareness. Pain can come from disappointment, rejection, loss, or failure. It can feel like a weight pressing on your chest or a fire burning inside you. But if you pause and breathe into that pain, you can start to see it differently. Instead of asking why it happened to you, you begin to ask what it can teach you. Pain teaches patience. It teaches empathy. It teaches resilience. It builds the kind of quiet power that no external achievement can give. By observing your pain without running from it, you give it a chance to transform. It becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. Fear also holds a special energy. Fear is not only a warning, it is a compass. It points toward areas of growth. When you are afraid of speaking your truth, that is where your power is waiting. When you are afraid to take a bold step, that is where your courage wants to be born. Fear can paralyze if left unmanaged, but it can also focus your attention like nothing else. By breathing slowly and grounding yourself, you can use fear as a tool to sharpen your senses, to heighten your presence, to direct your energy into action instead of avoidance. Transforming pain into power begins with acceptance. Accept that life will contain challenges. Accept that you will feel hurt, frustrated, and afraid. This acceptance does not mean giving up. It means you stop wasting energy resisting what already is. Once you stop resisting, you free up your strength to respond with clarity. This is how you shift from victim to creator. You start to shape your response, and in shaping your response, you shape your destiny. One powerful practice is to write down your pain and your fears. Seeing them on paper takes them out of the shadows of your mind. When you name them, you start to claim their energy. You can then turn these words into affirmations, goals, or steps for growth. This process reprograms your mind to see obstacles as raw material for transformation. With time, you notice you are no longer frightened by challenges. You welcome them as opportunities to practice your strength. Another practice is movement. Physical training, deep breathing, or mindful walking helps convert emotional pain into usable energy. The body and mind are connected. When you move with intention, you help the energy of fear and pain flow through you rather than remain stuck. Movement grounds you in the present moment and restores your confidence. It gives you a direct experience of your own power. Transforming fear into focus also means setting clear intentions. When your mind has a clear goal, fear becomes fuel. It sharpens your vision. It quickens your reflexes. It puts you on alert in a way that can be productive rather than harmful. Without a goal, fear spins in circles. With a goal, it drives you forward like wind filling a sail. Every time you step toward what scares you, you build evidence for your own courage. This evidence becomes a foundation of self-trust that cannot be easily shaken. The more you practice this, the more you find that pain and fear no longer define you. They become tools. They become signals. They become reminders of your own depth and capacity. This shift is what separates someone who is broken by life from someone who becomes unbreakable. It is not that the undefeatable woman never feels pain or fear. It is that she has learned to work with them, to draw strength from them, to let them guide her closer to her true path. Over time, this approach creates an inner resilience that radiates outward. People will notice your calm even in chaos, your steady gaze even under pressure, your centered energy even when others are losing theirs. They will see that you have learned to take what life gives you and turn it into something powerful. This is not a performance. It is the natural result of training yourself to transform instead of retreat. When you live this way, challenges stop being threats and start being training. Every setback becomes a sharpening stone. Every fear becomes a doorway. Every pain becomes a forge that strengthens your spirit. This is how you grow beyond the limits that once held you back. This is how you become someone who cannot be defeated, because nothing external can take away your inner command. In the end, you understand that power was never about avoiding pain or erasing fear. It was about transforming them into the very forces that build your focus, your clarity, and your unstoppable strength. To cultivate discipline as your pathway to freedom is to understand that every great transformation begins with small, consistent choices. Discipline is not a punishment or a cage. It is the quiet architect of strength, focus, and self-respect. When you develop discipline, you create the conditions for your potential to unfold without interference from distraction, doubt, or laziness. It is the bridge that carries you from intention to reality, from desire to achievement, from thinking about who you want to be to actually becoming her. An undefeatable woman knows that without discipline, even the brightest vision remains a wish, but with discipline, even the heaviest obstacles can be moved. Discipline starts within the mind before it ever shows in action. It begins when you decide to rise above your impulses and guide your energy with purpose. Each time you choose to follow through on your commitments instead of giving in to comfort, you strengthen a muscle inside your spirit. Over time, this inner muscle grows powerful enough to hold you steady no matter what storms you face. While others are distracted by trends or by what is easy, you stay true to the path you have chosen. This self-mastery is the essence of freedom. It means you no longer live at the mercy of moods or circumstances. You live by the standards you have set for yourself. To cultivate discipline, you must also become intimate with your daily habits. Habits are the soil from which your future grows. When you wake early, when you care for your body, when you feed your mind with learning, when you take moments to reflect, you are planting seeds of strength. These small acts seem simple, but they accumulate into a force that shapes your character. Discipline is not about grand heroic gestures, but about the repeated quiet actions that align you with your higher self. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is that it frees your mind from constant decision-making. When you have built solid routines, you do not need to negotiate with yourself every day. You already know what must be done. This reduces inner conflict and releases energy for creativity and growth. In this way, discipline becomes a foundation for spontaneity and freedom, rather than its opposite. You can choose how to use your energy, rather than wasting it on indecision or regret. Another dimension of discipline is learning to say no. No to distractions that pull you off your path. No to habits that drain your vitality. No to people or environments that weaken your spirit. Each no is also a yes to your highest priorities. It is a way of telling yourself and the world what truly matters to you. With each boundary you hold, your self-respect deepens. This inner clarity becomes visible to others as steadiness, reliability, and quiet power. Discipline also strengthens your ability to handle discomfort. Growth rarely happens in the space of ease. It happens when you push beyond your limits, when you choose patience over instant gratification, when you remain consistent even when motivation fades. This endurance trains your mind to stay steady in adversity. It teaches you that you can do hard things and come out stronger. With every challenge you face and stay present with, your threshold for pressure expands. This is how resilience is born. It is also important to pair discipline with compassion. Without compassion, discipline can become rigid and harsh. True discipline is firm but gentle, structured but flexible. It allows space for mistakes and learning. It celebrates progress rather than punishing failure. This balance keeps your spirit alive and motivated. You begin to see discipline not as something you must do, but as something you choose because it empowers you. As your discipline grows, your confidence rises naturally. You no longer wait for the perfect time or external approval, because you know you can rely on yourself. Each promise kept to yourself becomes a brick in the fortress of your self-trust. People who watch you will sense this confidence. They will see that your words and actions are aligned. They will recognize that your stability comes from within rather than from outside validation. Over time, discipline shapes not only your habits but also your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who shows up, who persists, who follows through. This identity fuels more consistent action, and consistent action fuels greater freedom. You move from being reactive to being proactive, from drifting to directing. This is the mark of someone who is truly undefeatable. She does not wait for conditions to be perfect. She trains herself to be prepared regardless of conditions. When discipline becomes a natural part of your life, freedom blossoms. You are free from the chains of procrastination, free from the pull of distractions, free from the ups and downs of motivation. You are free because you are in command of yourself. This freedom is deeper than any temporary indulgence. It is the freedom to become exactly who you are meant to be, and to live with clarity, focus, and purpose. To cultivate discipline as your pathway to freedom is to build an unshakable foundation under your dreams. It gives you the quiet confidence that no matter what life brings, you can stand tall and keep moving forward. This is how you develop the steadiness, self-trust, and inner power that make an undefeatable woman. To stand rooted in values and not be swayed by opinions is to build your life upon a foundation that cannot be shaken by the shifting winds of the world. Every day you are surrounded by countless voices telling you who you should be, what you should want, how you should live. These opinions can be loud, persuasive, and relentless. If you do not know your own values, you will find yourself bending under the weight of every trend and every judgment. But when you have taken the time to clarify what truly matters to you, you become like a tree with deep roots. Storms may bend your branches, but they cannot uproot you. This is one of the defining qualities of an undefeatable woman. Values are the invisible compass of your life. They guide your decisions, shape your character,